Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. Larry from Cicada came out with an awesome product. This is the RR3T. It's basically a giant compression driver attached to an aluminum 6x9 adapter plate. The reason this makes sense is when you have clients that started with, let's say, a stage 3 where they have an 8 in the bag and a 6x9 on the lid, or the bike came with 6x9s and they want to add 10s. Now the problem is you cannot mix a 10-inch woofer with a 6x9. The 6x9 becomes a passive radiator. What happens is the pressure from the 10 pushes on the back of the 6x9 and overdrives it and distorts it. You lose a ton of bass, you distort the 6x9. There's a bunch of reasons not to do it. Some people won't even run an 8 and a 6x9 in the same saddlebag. We do, because if you use a low power 8-inch mid-bass driver and a high power 6x9s, the voice coils are generally the same size, and if you tune them in phase, they will fire together and complement each other. It's tricky to do, but if you have years of experience, you can get it off. It's safer just to put a baffle on the 6x9, but we try never to baffle a speaker. Not that it's wrong. A ton of really good shops do it. There's nothing wrong with doing it. The problem is when you put a speaker in a really tiny enclosure and you block off the back of it, you change the way the speaker responds, and a lot of times you lose a lot of the mid bass. We like using sealed back, like the Bema sealed back or the PRV sealed back, because the speaker was designed not to play into a large enclosure, so the way the speaker's going to output is really predictable. But you can do it however you feel. In a perfect world, two speakers should never share the same airspace. So my preference when I build a bike is no lids. So I like to do upper fairing, lower fairing, and 10-inch woofers in a bag. That's my personal favorite, or just fairing and 10-inch woofers in a bag. For a lot of clients, that's not an option, especially these newer Harley motorcycles that come with the mustache crash bar on the bottom. You can't do lowers if you have those bars. So people don't like taking off the mustache bar because it's one of the things that helps people identify a newer bike like a 2022 from an older bike like a 2018. The 2018 came with the standard crash bar. The 2022 obviously comes with the smaller mustache bar. So most clients won't give up that bar, so then doing lowers is no longer an option. But this works really well. We do a lot of bikes with 10s in the bags, and our clients tend to upgrade over time. So they might come in from a stage 2 where they did fairing and 6x9s in the lids. Now they want to run 10s in the bags. Now that causes two issues. So now we have the 6x9 fighting for airspace with the 10. The 10's going to overdrive the 6x9. Then we can swap to 8-inch lids. We could seal the bag, but most clients just want extra bass and they still want to be able to use some of their bag space. So that's the solution we were offering was the Bema sealed back, but then we would have to use a 6x9 adapter like the Curly's plate or the new 6x9 plate that Nagy offers. So we would do a sealed back 6.5, possibly a horn tweeter, and then you need a spacer. So you're talking 3 or 4 different parts to make it work. With the solution from Cicada, it's just one part. You remove the 6x9, install it, and you're done. The reason I like this solution is it's angled. You see that? It's angled towards the rider. When you do a regular 6x9 to 6.5 adapter, it points straight up. So you have a slight angle from the cutting kit, but you end up with more of an angle because you have the angle of the cutting kit and you have the angle of Cicada. Works out really good. We still do it both ways, depending on what the client's tastes are. And this is a more weatherproof solution because Larry's installed a membrane to keep water from going in the coil. Really, really slick setup. I like it a lot. Let me show you the other style. Okay, here you see it installed on Cheek's bike. There's the cutting kit, the Bema 6.5 sealed back, and the SQL60. This is what it looks like from the backside. So you have the cutting kit, spacer plate, the adapter plate, 6.5, and the tweeter. And there you have the Cicada 10-inch mid-bass. Okay, both solutions cost about the same, but with the Cicada setup, it's less parts. And Cicada gives you more of an angle. So when you do it this way, you have just the angle of the cutting kit. When you add the Cicada to it, it gives you even more of an angle. So it's kind of costly either way because you have the price of the Bema. So it's 6 MCF 200 ND. These are 600 a pair. Then once you add in the Hershey Kiss SQL60, that goes right here. So you're talking, let me look up the price of the tweeter. But you have spacers, 6-mine adapter plate, the tweeter, and the actual 6-inch driver. You're right around $1,000. Okay, it gets pretty costly either way. So we're talking $340 for the tweeter set, $600 for the carbon fiber sealed back, $80 for the spacer ring, and $100 for the Curly's adapter plate. So let's see, so we're at 340 plus 600 plus 80 plus 100. So you're looking at $1,120 if you go the Bema route. And the issue is you have to source 4 different part numbers. Bema's infamous for the product's so popular, they're consistently out of stock. So if you're lucky enough to find the SQL60 in stock and the carbon fiber sealed back, then sourcing the rest of the parts will be no issue. With Cicada, it's just 1 part number. So you have the plate and the horn driver. The issue, they both have the same drawback, the same negative about both is they won't play. So the Cicada will not play below 1,000. The Bema setup will not play below 400. Both setups sound amazing. We use both. It's a lot easier with the Cicada setup because everything's in one box. With the Bema setup, or you can also do PRV with this setup, which would probably save you about $300 on the total cost of the package, but it's still not a cheap solution. So let's run the math on that. If we get the parts $300 cheaper, so even if you run a PRV solution, then you'd be right around $800. So it's $800, $1,000, and about $1,150, no matter which way you go. But it is a really, so it's going to cost you up front, but the performance you're going to get out of the 10-inch mid-bass driver, having completely sealed or ported assembly to play into without having cancellation with the 6-mine driver, I definitely see value in this. This is the solution that we offer both ways. We offer it this way and we offer it this way. But Larry came up with a very, very good solution. That's why I love dealing with Larry and the guys over Cicada. They're constantly reaching out to see what problems in the motorcycle audio industry they can address. And this is a really good solution. We've installed about 10 sets of these and they're doing really well out there. We've had 0 failures. And it's more weather resistant than the Bema setup because for some reason on the Bema, it's a carbon fiber cone, but it's a paper dust cap. So the failures that we have on these is normally the dust cap comes loose after getting really, really wet. Won't have that issue with the Cicada setup. But we have both solutions available. I'd just like to give the information and let you guys choose what you want to use. Both these drivers, the Bema and the Cicada, are both 8-ohm drivers. So the way we normally do it, this unit is 110 dB efficient. Super loud, requires almost no power. So since they're 8 ohms, you can run it on an 800.4, which is more than enough for you guys that like to go extreme. Since they're 8-ohm drivers, you can run them in parallel and bridge channel 3 and 4 on, let's say, an 800.4. And then they would be sharing 400 watts, so 200 watts each, which is way more power than you would ever need on a tweeter, horn-loaded compression driver, or even a sealed back, but that's just my opinion. You guys do what you want. And also remember, as you increase the power, you also have to bring up the crossover point so you don't wipe out the voice coils. So this is our normal go-to when we do speakers in the lid. It's the Bema sealed back carbon fiber. Excellent speaker, love everything about it. Plays from 400 up, clean, sealed back, weatherproof. But the issue is you need the speaker, you need the 6-volume adapter, you need the 6-volume spacer, and then you can make it fit in the lid kit. And Bema's constantly back order on these speakers. So the new solution from Cicada is the RR3T. So it's a horn-loaded compression driver. I like it because it's angled forward. So that means sound's going to travel forward towards the rider. 100% weatherproof. Larry worked his magic, and he's got a coating in there. It's like a one-way valve, like the frog skin, where water will collect on top, but it will not go down to the voice coil. We got to take it over the sink and test that out. This is a solid aluminum plate. So you don't, anybody that's suspended a heavy-duty speaker from the lid knows that if you try and use plastic, the plastic cracks. That's why we use these adapters, because they're metal. These are from Curly's. So with the Cicada horn-loaded driver, this is what it looks like installed. Comes with a gasket, and they sound phenomenal. Let's fire them up so you can hear them.
Just get on down. That mic just getting so fucking out of